folks, welcome back to 2026, and it's time for a 2025 review and 2026 looking ahead what we're going to do with the channel and what I'm planning to do with gigs. So I figured to start off with some stats from 2025, alright? 89 gigs, it's not bad for a guy living in Adelaide. I did 12 in 1 month, which I was pretty happy with. I earned 44 cents streaming. I lost my license, injured my hand pretty badly. I borrowed a bunch of money, sold a bunch of shit, didn't buy any guitars, said I'm done and meant it at least twice. And yet, 2026 started and decided we're doing it again. Now, it's interesting because there was a whole bunch of shit that went wrong in 2025, and then when I look back 2024, there was probably a lot of worse shit that was happening in 2024. I blew up my ute, borrowed some money, bought a car, wrote that car off. Anyway, that was the 2024. 2025, worst thing that happened in 2025 was probably I cut my thumb really badly. Washing the dishes, man. So don't ever wash the dishes if you can get away with it. I was just washing a bowl and it looked like I had a crack in it, and I pressed on it and it broke in my hand and went through my hand there and went right down through here and tripped in the emergency room, 7 stitches in my thumb and a whole bunch of gigs I had to cancel. That week I had 3 to cancel. I don't know. It was just a pain where it was, like you couldn't hold the guitar properly, you couldn't really bend it. And unfortunately, didn't know till afterwards it was a bit more of a drama than that because for some reason they dug the stitches in real deep and had gone through a tendon or something, but if I was moving my hand it was making my thumb move and it was like it was a piece of string sort of attached or something, so that sucked. Luckily when they took the stitches out it kind of went twang and everything come good, and I was able to tape it up and play the next gig. I think it was probably, I don't know, I was off for at least 10, so I was probably like a couple of weeks I was off, and luckily a couple of dudes filled in for me and things like that, so there was no drama like that. But like I wasn't, because of how the thumb was behaving weird, I wasn't even sure I could play guitar, and like initially I couldn't even pick the damn guitar up, it was that sore. So anyway, that all come good, and then I noticed when I looked at the end of year thing that it kind of rolled on, and it was like, yeah, that knocked me around a bit because you can sort of see that the gigs dipped, and then they kind of dipped for quite a bit and then started coming back, so that was a bit annoying. And then the other low light was losing my license. That was sort of one of the moments where I was like, oh, I'm done, man, you know, like how can I get the gigs when I haven't even got a damn license? But I took this deal, I got this prick of a deal in South Australia where you can take double the time with 1 point of good behaviour. So I was like, oh, great, do that. When you're on the road as much as I am, that sucks ass, man, I tell you. But anyway, I got 1 point, so I'm back on the road. So I got through that as well. And then December, I remember saying I'm done then, man. In December, I just got through, I sort of making some progress again. And then in December, I had 4 gigs in December, either cancel or double book. So there was like, it was just I don't know, a better word to say than like in December. It just was, man. It was like, what have I done wrong, man? Like, you know, broke a mirror or something. And I thought, no, I'm done. There's no way I can get through. So literally, at the end of last year, I was done. And I was so done that a couple of the gigs I've been talking to this year, they're saying like, you know, you're booking. I was like, I haven't booked anything because I was going to stop. And I didn't want to have to cancel too many, so I didn't book anything. And so I'm a bit behind the 8 ball at the moment. But I'm not sure what happened. At the end of December, I was like so in debt and so broke and just so over it. And then, I don't know, something happened and I changed and I thought, you know what? You got through all of it. And I don't know if it's because I've been watching bloody Cam Haines and Jocko and those sort of guys, but like, I just feel like, man, I ain't quitting until there's no way to do it. That's how I'm sort of thinking about it. I guess what I should say is, well, you know, what's some shit I learned from last year? What did I write down? I've got like papers and shit all over the joint because this is more a thing I want to do. One, I like keeping you dudes in the loop because I haven't been doing much YouTube, and I kind of feel like a lot of the stuff with the YouTube might get boring for a lot of people because I've really changed my perspective on a lot of stuff, and I can't afford to be playing buy the new guitar every week, and pretty much everyone that does the guitar stuff, they usually got a guitar shop in the background there somewhere, whereas I just buy shit that I use, and moving forward I won't be buying much at all because that's some of the perspective stuff that I've changed that I wouldn't mind telling you about. So anyway, I sort of think I want to do more YouTube. I do enjoy it. Even if the channel doesn't get bigger, even if it gets smaller, I don't think I care too much. I like the quality rather than the quantity, and the dudes that chirp in and I start to know a bit, you really seem to know your stuff with your guitars and you give me good ideas, and no one's been a prick so far, really. One dude, maybe two. But most of the time people are just really helpful, and so for me it's a real positive thing because it's like one of the few outlets where I really get to talk to other musos, and people, maybe they know more about this shit than I do, and I can learn some stuff. So there's that side of it's pretty cool. And then, like, if anything, I'm telling you guys, maybe you're gigging, you can't be the only person in the bloody world that's not living in a place that's big on venues, Adelaide's not Nashville, Adelaide's not Melbourne. Adelaide's Adelaide. It's not huge on venues, and there's a lot of guys playing guitar. So doing 89 in a year with original tunes, not just doing the covers scene sort of thing, it's actually a pretty decent effort. So don't want to talk it down too much, but then I figure if I want to make a living, I've got to do at least 150 next year. That's what I want to do. I've got to get to a point where I'm not stressing all the time and actually feel like you're doing this shit. So, lessons learned. One, I want to work harder. Shutting down my bookshop and going full-time into music was tough, but I haven't really transferred the work ethic over to music. So it's not like every day I get up and do a job. And I think it needs to be like that if you want to actually make a living, especially when it's in a pretty competitive environment with limited opportunity, let's say. So I've got to work harder, I know that. And the other side I've got to work harder is things like I've built a website recently. Hopefully put some more, I'm recording a lot, I've got the new camera. So basically last year, I didn't buy a new guitar, which is pretty painful. I did something sensible. I bought the Capo, and I bought another camera because I had to sell the other camera. But it's all worked out well. This new camera is a Sony ZV-1, I think that's what it's called. It's just a little Rode mic, but touch wood, it's been working real good for gigs and stuff. It's pretty simple to use, and gets me back on YouTube, which I'm pretty happy about, I've got to say. Even though I stress a bit about coming up with shit to put on here, I do really like being on here, and it's really good for organising your thoughts and that as well, in a sort of unexpected way. So yeah, definitely work harder, aim higher. I always think it might be an Australian thing where it's like you kind of got to accept your lot, and it's like, nah, aim higher. I don't know. I'd like to get to a point where I can do some ticketed events and things like that, but I just don't know the path, It's not like being a damn, I don't know, school teacher or something. You go to university, you do this, you do that, you get a job, you do that. It's not really a path. You sort of got to work it out as you go with music. And it also seems very individual how you do it. Even stuff like social media and stuff like that seems to be really, really individual. So there's that. I'm not big on social media. I kind of hate it. I'd like to delete it. I think I might. I wish more people would. Might make it easier to do that. But at the moment, I feel like there's an expectation to be on there. It might just be in my head. I mean, that's what they do, isn't it? But I'm sort of hoping if I can make the website more of a hub, then maybe I can piss the social media and that off completely and just do that. So that's maybe one idea going forward. I think what I worked out last year mostly was that consistent effort is what gets you the rewards, It's the squeaky wheel that gets the grease. You see the dudes that are getting a lot of gigs, and it's not the best players. It's probably the most consistent at asking. I hate asking for gigs. Oh, sorry. I'm not. That's all right. Let's make a new rule. I'm not swearing in 2026. How's that? Next, so consistency is what works, and consistency everywhere. So like it's really hard to go from sort of I don't know, like just being a flaky artist, because I was a professional airbrush artist, and you know I had a bookshop and just do weird shit. I have worked hard at different times too, you know, in foundries and labouring and shit. I find it hard to put a structure over music and then still enjoy it. To do it professionally, I think you need to. I mean, there's always dudes that don't, but maybe it's just me. I think I need to do it that way, because otherwise I just don't do anything. I procrastinate. So the idea is basically to do it structured, a structured day plan, which includes rehearsal, which includes venue contacts, which includes emails, which includes making shit for the website, which includes regular uploads to the YouTube channel, and kind of focusing more on songs and live performances and music, and trying to get some opportunity happening. So that's probably kind of what I'm more thinking of, like make it more like a business, even though I'm at the kind of the lowly end of town. But I'm sure there's plenty of other dudes out there that are all the same, and I'm hoping to keep up, you know, catch up with more of those sort of people as well moving forward, and just see what other people are doing, man, and kind of network a little bit potentially, you know. So next thing is, I think those good habits, big discipline. So something I noticed this year is like once you start doing your rehearsal at the same time every day, it's not like you have to make yourself, it just becomes your habit. And then so I kind of want to roll that into like venue context, because venue context is the thing I hate doing the most. I hate asking for gigs. If you've ever been unemployed and you're looking for jobs and you got to put in like resumes and shit, and then you just don't get an answer back, that's pretty much what it's like looking for gigs. So that's annoying, but it's the same for everyone. And you just got to thicken sort of hard, not swearing. You just got to harden up, I think, and that's just how it goes, and it's never going to change. So that's something I sort of learned, is that stuff doesn't change. You really can't take your foot off the gas, ever. You've got to constantly be looking. It's like you've got to be constantly getting rejected. You've got to be constantly getting ignored. And if you can't do that, probably in the wrong game, because I can't see a point where it's going to change, and that's not going to be a big part of it. Another thing I learned last year, I guess, was the tools of the trade. And that's something I kind of changed my perspective on. And it's thanks mostly to this mating, because I've been playing that all year. I haven't played any of the other guitars at all, actually. It's the only one I've been gigging with all year. And it's been great. And I've been getting more out of it the more I use it. So it's building, and it may not be the best guitar, it may not be the prettiest guitar, all the rest of it, but I don't have to give it a second thought when I'm playing. And since I changed the machine heads on it, it's just sitting here actually, since I changed the machine heads on it, I'm really happy with it. That's made a big difference. It feels more alive, and definitely not planning on changing any of that. And then the Da Capo, kind of feel bad about that, because I did a video, hopefully someone watched it. I don't think anyone's watched it, which is probably just as good, because I hope I wasn't too disparaging about it. I don't like the loose knobs, but that thing's a monster, man. I've been using it. Well, I did about 5 gigs with it and was really ho-hum. Don't know if I like it or not. And then I reckon the 6th gig, I don't know whether the speaker loosened up or what, but suddenly it sounded like I have a bit more bass in it and a bit more life to it, or I just got used to the sound of it, but I don't know. I love it now. So the RCF, I've been 100% happy with that. I think it's a bloody beautiful speaker. But then the Da Capo sounded a bit kind of, I don't know how to describe it. It just sounded too small. And yet now it sounds really clear. It just sounds clear, and it's got a beautiful bass to it. And what I heard one day was just like, actually that just sounds like a guy playing a guitar, which is what I've wanted to sound like all along. So Jase is an idiot. He's wrong about the Da Capo. It's bloody brilliant. And my future sound is probably another Maton. Well, actually, definitely another Maton coming up. And we'll just keep using the Da Capo for everything. And then what I can do is if I want to play, like if I'm playing a festival or whatever, I can plug into their stuff through the Da Capo. If I'm playing places that have got their own sound systems, I can just plug in the Da Capo and use it as a fallback. And if I'm playing little venues like the diner I'm playing at tomorrow night, I just use the Da Capo on its own. So it works perfectly. So moving forward next year, that's all I'm using. I'm not buying another guitar apart from another Maton. I'm not going to buy any effects, no bullshit. So there's been a big perspective change, and probably want to mention that too, is that I kind of feel like that's the right way to be when you're playing as a professional. And it's funny, man, I cannot get in my head I'm a professional musician. Like, because I'm so povo, I suppose, all the time, but like literally I am a professional muso. I have survived a little while as a professional muso, and I actually need to be more professional moving forward. One of the things is the GAS, the gear acquisition syndrome. I could probably do a whole video on it, but one of the things I noticed with GAS is like, God, man, I love guitars. Like, you guys know what that's like. I love guitars, but you know, like I was looking at Bourgeois and double O Gibsons and those hybrid Cole Clarks. I had a whole list of guitars. There was a Gibson J35 I was looking at. All sorts, man. Beautiful guitars I'd love to own. But in the end, after doing this year with just the Maton on its own and feeling like I'm actually improving a lot from just sticking to one guitar, I think I'm just going to stick with that. And like I said before, it may not be the best, may not be the prettiest, whatever. It's actually doing the job really well. And so the purchases going forward, because I'm getting another payout probably next month of royalty back pay. So I've got a bit of money to invest in some gear and stuff. Is basically a second Maton. So when this one's in, getting work done on and things like that, I've got exactly the same guitar to use. And then and just the capo, and then probably little things like I want the stage to look neater. So I'm going to get like a mono bag and things like that and try and make it so the stage is really clear. No matter where I play, I can pack it all away tightly in the corner, and then also getting that one load in thing happening, and then neat on the stage. I think that's something I could improve. So it's basically just polishing what I've already got and making it more professional. And that's pretty much the 2026 plan. So I don't know how that leaves the channel. I think the channel might be a bit more boring this year, but it'll be real. And so I think my big goals this year will be 150 gigs, if I can do that. Going shit so far because I was going to quit, so I've got no gigs booked this year. I've just been booking them as I go. I'm trying to catch it up, but definitely got some booked later in the year already. But I want to do 150 this year. I want to do an interstate festival. Pretty keen to do that. And that's another reason I think the website might help, and putting more music up on here. So bear with me with that. I am going to be putting more music up on here. And I still want to keep doing the conversational shit. Just won't be doing much gear, I don't think. But you never know. We'll see what happens with that. Hopefully if I don't lose that 1 point that's left on my license, we can get through 2026 unscathed and hit some goals. So let's cement the goals in. 150 gigs. Just one more guitar. What else? 1,000 subscribers. That'd be good. Make more than 44 cents on the epoxy streaming services. I think that's about it. There was something else. Oh, maybe an interstate festival. An interstate festival would be a big one. I haven't done that yet, and I think that'd be good. And actually, let's piss social media off as well. Let's go real crazy. All right, I'm gonna drink my coffee. Go do some shit. Oh, thanks to everyone for subscribing and all the rest of that stuff, man. I do appreciate it. I don't know why anyone would want to watch this bullshit, but I'm glad you do. and I really do appreciate the comments and the interactions and the fact that people take an interest. And hopefully this year I can do some more shit musically, and you guys can be validated and say, see, I knew that guy could do it. I hope so. Alright, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you next time.